Alright, afternoon guys, it's Monday, and those of you who saw yesterday's set of videos on the Duramax hood, you know that got painted and cleared, and we're cutting it today. We're not going to buff it today. It's too soon to buff it. It'll just haze back up most likely, and I like to leave it cut open if it hasn't had enough time to dry and kind of finish curing up, and then we'll come back and buff it. But I didn't set up a video for this because, well, I just didn't. Let's put it that way. We had all these watermarks on the side here, and I was just going to cut this thing with 1000 grit and re-clear it, and then I decided to give it a shot. I figured, why mess around doing that? It's already got 3 coats of clear on it, and 98% of those spots that were in it from the water came out, so that's pretty cool. The only problem is if you have any little dip in there when you go to polish it, the polish gets stuck in it, so it makes it even easier to see it. I didn't cut this hood with anything more aggressive than 1500. I actually cut all the hood with 2000 first, found all my dust nibs. I did it by hand with the Durablock and the Meguiar's paper right there. And now I'm taking the DA with 2000 over it, which kind of shines it back up a little faster, and I'm doing that wet. So no curly cues here today. We're looking pretty good. I just took that round block there and went up this side because I finished the rest of it and didn't come back to this. This side was actually in good shape. There was only a tiny bit of peel in it. The only thing I used any 1500 for was where those water spots were here, to cut them down. They were just the 2000 wasn't doing it, and I may have to work on them a touch more, but they're at least 85 to 90% gone, and we're just trying to get this wrapped up so I can get on those fenders over there and get those cut in and get them on the truck. So we'll have to I'm letting this dry so I can see where I'm at. I'm out of fuel again, so another $50 in diesel fuel down the toilet just to get a hood painted. I'd like to be able to wait till it warms up, but I'm running out of days here, so I only got about 4 more weeks, maybe 5 tops, before work's going to start. So this truck's got to be done, and I've got other stuff coming in to work on. So we're going to take these fenders and Raptor liner this area in the bottom, but what I'm going to do is get these all scuffed up inside and cut the paint in all the way to this edge. This is the top of the fender, and basically all the way to the outside, with the exception of this right here. And I'm going to seal these up before I paint them. If I get a little dust on the inside, dirt, specks, whatever, it doesn't matter to me. You're not going to ever see it. I just want to get it painted. And typically these are not cleared inside, but there's enough of this top edge that you see it really needs to be cleared, so I am going to shoot some clear on it, despite what I would normally do. There's too many little areas that you're going to see, like when you open the door, you'll see this, and we'll want that sort of shiny. And you'll see this top edge of the fender here when you open the hood, or even when you don't open the hood for that matter, because the hood only comes to right here, and then the cowl panel is here. You'll see some of that. So we'll just do like a 1 wet coat of clear on the inside of this, and that'll be that. It doesn't need the UV protection that the exterior does. So I'll probably get some I don't know if I'll scuff gel these or if I'll go grab some Comet or some TSP or something like that, and a red Scotch-Brite, and Scotch-Brite the inside of these. And that's kind of why I want to get this done on the hood here, so I can put this to bed, and then all I'll have to do is buff it. And the other thing is, you guys are probably wondering why I didn't hang the fenders. Well, if you watched the video yesterday, I'm not very tall, and it's really hard for me to reach the center of that hood. I actually had a little bit of peel right in the center of that hood, more than I'd leave to be acceptable. So I had to actually lean against the fenders that are on the truck now. From now on, if I'm going to do a project this big, I'll pop the hood off and put it on the stands because I can reach over it and see it better, even with the tires flattened on the truck. I'm just not experienced enough and not tall enough to be able to paint the larger panels. The vertical ones are fine, but when you got to lean out over it, this stuff's kind of hard for me to do just because of my height. So as I get better, I'm sure I'll figure out ways to manipulate it, but for now, that's the way I did it. So, and we can see I really don't have any peel at all in this. Here's one little piece of trash that's still in it, but all things considered, there wasn't much trash. I probably had 10 or 15 little spots on this hood, and for as dirty as the shop is, I'm happy with that. That's fine with me. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick update, and I'll get it wiped down and show you what it looks like since it's got sludge on it now, and we'll just make this a short video for Monday, no how-to today. So hope you guys are doing good, and we'll talk to you after. Alright guys, I'm back for a little bit of an update here. I got the paint bench cleaned off to just the stuff I use most of the time. I really need to clean off the top of it, but I don't know where any of that stuff can go because all my cabinets are pretty full. So I did that real quick. I'm going to take the trash out here and head on out for the rest of the day. But now we can see this hood now that I've dried it off, and it's uniformly dull, and that should buff up real nice. So thanks to Ron for the vote of confidence that I'd be able to sand those watermarks out. I've never had to sand quite that hard on anything, but I was using the 2000, so it doesn't cut real fast. And this was the area right along that whole area from that body line up there where it's still a little shiny, because I don't sand in those unless there's a piece of trash in there, and there wasn't. From there down on this side, and then no water on the other side, just a couple trash pieces. So it all came out good, and that's going to get to sit. I'll probably air the tires on the truck back up here just because I don't want them sitting so low. I don't want one of them to blow off the bead if it hasn't already happened. We should be okay, but that floor is pretty cold, so if one of them cracks off the bead, I'll have to jack it up probably to get it to come back on, or put a strap around the middle of it to push it out. That's one way to do it, but she's dull, but she's flat. Nice and flat, and I like that kind. So, alright guys, we're going to clean up the tornado trash here. And I got stuff on the floor everywhere, the boxes, every trash can in here is full, and I did oil change on the Super Duty the other day. I got that garbage laying there, and I got a box from the supply store that's full of trash, and a trash can in the mixing room that's full. I got cardboard on the floor up there. I've got sandpaper on the floor. I've got oil dry on the floor back here. That's not ever good when you're trying to paint, having all that dirty crap laying around. If I ever get around to building a place, I'm going to put drains in all my floors, channel drains, so I can just hose the floor into that, and then when it dries I can vacuum it out or do whatever I need to do. That way it's easier to keep a place sort of clean. This place I have no drain inside, so whatever water hits the floor either has to be mopped up, which I don't normally do, or it's got to evaporate. That's normally what happens. So, alright, I'm going to turn you loose for real, make some videos today. I'm going to head home and eat some lunch and do some paperwork, and we'll go from there. If I come up with something else cool today, I will, but definitely turn the camera back on. But for now, I don't foresee that. But we're going to get out here tomorrow and give you guys a video on prepping those fenders and getting them ready to go. Maybe even shoot them, who knows. Alright, we'll see you.